morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday morning, y'all. It's Thursday morning. Hopefully everybody has had a good week so far. Hey, get down from there. Thursday morning. Good morning, E-Breezy. How are you? How's your week been? Hopefully you had a good week. Good morning, Mary. How are you? Good morning, Coolest Dad. Coolest Dad, how have you been? Haven't had time to chat to you in a while. How have you been? How's the kids? I look at your new project, see if you've put some new projects on. Good morning, Miss Abby. Good morning, Grace. Good morning, Seaside Breeze Fizzin. Good morning, Shirley. Good, just busy with the kids. I understand that. So I remember back in the day having the young kids. Yeah. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? It is Thursday morning. We're going to have some fun this morning. We had some fun yesterday morning. Creating those in the hoop stand-in lace or freestanding lace in the hoop. So I still need to send a message to the one designer because it turned out really cool. It's really pretty, especially now that it's dried. But that one section up top. Thank you for the heart me. But you have to look up that hug. I do, Grace. Let me write that down. Do you want me to add it? Because not next week, but the following week we're doing Monday puff and bordery. Thank you, Irie. Thank you. Monday, we're going to do that puff and bordery. And then Tuesday, we're going to do the lanyards. Thank you for the orders yesterday. I had a few of y'all order lanyards yesterday, so I appreciate the orders. So Wednesday, we can do that hug quilt. Do y'all want to do the hug quilt on Wednesday? They're 4 of them. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I feel for you there, Mr. Coolest Dad. So yeah, let's send him some good vibe with all those teens. That is crazy. So all of us that has raised kids, y'all, we understand your heartache there. But you gotta love them, right? You gotta love your kids. So it was like yesterday, my 29-year-old was calling me. So he's like, Mom, what do you think on this? So, but hey, you gotta love the kids. I've got a 29-year-old and a 30-year-old. So 2 boys, 5 grandkids. This is my second go around. Dude, you're brave. They just think they know everything at that age. They do, Irie, right? Coolest Dad? But okay, so I have to ask you, okay, so second time around is easier, right? Because you're not freaking over every little itty bitty thing, because I find with grandkids, you're like, it's okay. So have you looked to see if you can do, if they have different kinds of ways of doing it? Different ways of doing what, Miss Grace? Nope, new stuff. Coolest. Yeah, I guess they're doing new things that they didn't do last things. Good morning, Rot Mom. Good morning. Do you have Rottweilers? If you do, you have to send me some pictures. I'd love to see you. I would love to see them. Because I'm assuming from your name you have Rottweilers. Thank you, Crystal. Thanks for the heart me. I appreciate that. Anyways, where'd we go? Hug quilt. Do you guys want me to add hug quilt for the, not next week, but the following Wednesday? Mine are 50, 40, and 30. Oh, very cool. I'm getting ready to get a Rottweiler puppy. Sharon's getting a Rottweiler puppy, y'all. That is awesome. They are the coolest dogs. Very cool. Miss Nancy, are you the one that ordered a lanyard from me yesterday? Because I had a Nancy order a lanyard from me yesterday. Okay. Did you get my email? Because the one that you would order, which I'm going to go along with that, so we're good with that. But I need you to pick a different one from me. Can I show you a few of them? I'm going to show you a few so you can choose. Because the one you ordered was actually already pre-made. That was already a pre-made one, unless you wanted the pre-made one. That was an old post that I had in there that I didn't realize I had in there. Okay, let me show you the ones I have available, and you can choose. That work for you? We're going to do that right quick. Okay, we're going to add that to the next. I'm adding hug quilt, y'all. I'm going to add hug quilt to not next week, but the following Wednesday. Okay, hold on, Nancy. I'm going to grab those out. And I'm going to have to do, Grace, if you want to send me the information on the hug quilt, that would be also, it was Grace, right? You were the one. Yes, Grace. If you send me information, and I'll look it up, but it's going to be on the schedule. It'll be on the schedule. Thank you, Grace. Okay, so let me pull out the ones that I have available, Nancy. And if you, I can pull out, let's see, what do we have? Because I have 4 of them available. Yeah, because the one that you had added was one that was pre-made. It was not a, it was one like this one. It was not a, it wasn't a, it was a, just one like this. It wasn't a zipper one. Hey, that's an embroidery one. I'm going to have to take that one off there. I'm taking that one off there. That's an embroidery pin. Okay. Okay. So the ones I have, Miss Nancy, I have, and we'll number these. We'll number these. So I have 1. This one's 1. This one is 2. Let me unmirror you so you can read the thing too. Unmirror. I'm showing over here because good morning, guys. So we have 2, and that one says, we can see what that pin says. Where are we at? Where's the pin? Where'd the pin go? There it is. There's the pin. Lazy is a very strong word. I like to call it selective participation. So that's the pin on that one. And that's, so this is 2. So 1, 2. This is 3. That one's 3. And the pin that I have on that one is a rose. That one's got a rose in there. So this is 3 and this is 4. Or I can go pull out my other lanyard pins and you can choose one of those too. So this one has elephants on it. This one has elephants on it. Good morning, Grace. And then that one has a little flower. So do you want a different one of these? Because I have, you want one. Okay. So I'm going to throw one. One is going your way, Miss Nancy. I will mail it out this morning for you. I will get it mailed out this morning. If anybody else is interested at the end of the live, we can go through the things. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I apologize for the mishap, but it's okay. I'm going to send it to you and I'll probably throw you, I might just throw you a mug rug in there as a thank you. So, so if anybody else is interested at the end of the live, what we might do is just go through and I'll let you guys choose. And then I'll just send you an link to get them. So if that works for you, just remind me, or otherwise I'm liable to forget. You're very welcome, Miss Nancy, because this one's coming your way. This one is going to come your way. So he's kind of fun. So I'm going to throw this in with your lanyard. So just as a thank you. So awesome. Awesome. Okay. So this is what we're doing today, guys. This is what we're doing today. We are making mug rugs. We're going to do mug rugs in the hoop. We're going to do mug rugs outside of the hoop. Which do we want to do first? We want to do the one outside of the hoop and then do the one in the hoop. Which one do y'all want to do first? And what do you have? Stop. Get back here. No. That is a no. No, no. Chew on your own toys, dude. Here, look. All these toys. All these toys. There you go. Merry Christmas, dude. It's like, hey, guess what I found? Anything on the floor is free game, y'all. Anything on the floor is free game. Outside. Okay, so you want to do outside the hoop first. Absolutely. Absolutely. We could do that. You are good, Miss Cynthia. You are good. Trying to transfer to a new phone. Hey, It happens there, Cynthia. It happens. So, okay. So we're going to do outside the hoop first, but I'm going to use transfers. I'm using transfers today because y'all, I can't help myself. I cannot help myself. So I have some new transfers that we're going to do, but I'm going to let y'all, because we have some fun ones. Do we want to do, because I'll let y'all choose. Y'all get to choose. I'm going to let y'all choose. I'm putting that with Nancy. I'm putting that there, and I'm going to put your name on that. That way I remember. Miss Nancy. There we go. And that'll go out there. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do a theme. Oh, by the way, check out this one, guys. Look how good this one turned out. Did that not turn out awesome? That one turned out awesome. I'm really liking this one. This one turned out pretty cool. So that design, I will share this design. I'm not going to share the other one because it didn't stitch out very well, and I don't want y'all end up stitching something and it not turn out very well. If they end up fixing it, I will stitch it. I'll share it, but I will share this one because this one turned out phenomenal and it stitched out really pretty. So I will share that one out for you guys. Okay, so we're gonna do MugRugs. Anybody that doesn't know what a MugRug is, your MugRugs. Hold on, I have another one in here. I have another one. Let me grab my other one. Yeah. I thought I had another one. That's why I say I thought I had another one. Maybe I don't have another one. Maybe it was just the one. Maybe it's just the one. Anyways, okay. I'm going to show off your MugRug, Nancy. So this is a MugRug, okay? So this is what a MugRug is. So a MugRug is more or less a big coaster, okay? It's one of those things that you set your coffee cup on, you set your tea glass on. Anything that's, it's got like moisture or whatever in it, you put it on there, okay? So this is what we're going to do today. So we're going to make MugRugs. Thank you, Miss Amy. Good morning, Miss Amy. Nice to see you. This is what we're going to do today. So we're going to do the first one outside the hoop. We're going to do that first one outside the hoop. The second one we're going to do in the hoop. So we're going to get started on, that, but I'm adding a transfer. So we have, yes, awesome. So I have a couple transfers. So we have two different themes we could do. We have a few different themes, but so I have some fun coffee theme ones. These guys are kind of funny. We have some that's she's eating donuts. She's eating donuts here. The donut ones are cute. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. I have to say, I'm excited because I'm maintaining. I weighed the other day. I was at 158, so I'm feeling good, and I'm staying right between 155, 165. As long as I stay between those two, I'm good. So, anyways, so we have these coffee themed ones. I have fun French toast. We got French toast. We got French fries. So we have those. Donut is so cute. Can you send where you? Absolutely, Marnie. Send me a message so I'll remember, and I'll send you where I get them. So I have those. Then I have the Miss Amy. I think you're gonna like these. So then I have these. Check these out, guys. Check these out. So these are French toast, right? I like the French toast. So these, check this out. Is that not cute? So these each one of them has a different location. Each one has a different location in the bear. So these are kind of cool. We're going to make MugRugs. We are going to make a MugRug. So I like to make themed MugRugs. Make them fun. Make them fun. So MugRugs. These are MugRugs. We're going to do a MugRug. So you love the first bear? We can do the bear. So, and we'll probably have time to do a few of them. What's our flash goal? Let's see what our flash goal is today. Start flash goal. Ooh, we'll pin that one. So you want to do the bear, guys? Can you add, yeah, Pearl, hold on. Let me add it right quick. I will add it. Let me add, hold on, guys, one moment. I'm going to make that stop doing that. Let me come here. Coolest Daddy, have you gotten any new transfers lately? Doom. Okay, I get them from there, and then I get the images from here. So if you go on there and you can search from there, you're very welcome. If you search on there, on your second post there, if you search there, you can get your images, and there's so many different images there. I'm not mirrored. Hold on, let me make sure. Go back. I unmirrored myself. I unmirrored. So, you're very welcome, Pearl. So yeah. So what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and do the bear. We have some others we'll do. So, cause y'all, are these not cute too? I'm liking the little bugs. I like the little bugs. The bugs are cute. Bugs are cute. I have so many transfers. You end up going in and you get the transfers, and they're really good price. So you end up getting lots of transfers. So then you have tons of transfers and so much to do with these I just can't help myself. I can't help myself. So anyways, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to come over this way. Move y'all. And what we're going to do is do not fall over thing. Do not fall over. So we're going to come down this way. Come down this way. And what we're doing, I have turned that iron on. So I'm going to turn the iron on. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on a piece of fabric. We're going to add that to a piece of fabric. Let's see, what color do we want? What color do we want, Blazer? What color do we want? Almost thinking put him on. If I added him, I'm thinking we could add him to some blue. What do you think, guys? Add him to some blue flowers. You guys good with that? Isn't the bear pretty? Because I'm thinking the blue flowers would be pretty. You guys like that? Okay, cool. I bought a Cricut Press 3 to do these transfer. Awesome, Marnie. Awesome. You're gonna love this company. Is phenomenal, Marnie. I completely recommend this company here. So I'm going to put him up there because we're going to cut a square out. I'm going to put him there. So the nice thing is on these, thank you, Ari. Thank you. So with these, give me that. So we just press these on, and usually you just do a press, but I do it this way. I know it's probably not the best way, but it's okay. You're going to do it this way. And what you do is you press these on, and then you make sure, and then just kind of pull it off. That one turned out, oh my gosh, guys, check this out. Is that not pretty? And he looks pretty with the flowers. I'm excited. I am excited. Y'all, this is going to be cool. This is going to be very cool. So thank you guys, right? So whenever you put that transfer on, you always want to take another piece of fabric and press on top of it again. That way it sets it in. They said that you can use like your twill to go on top of there too. Anything works. You just got to make sure and give it that second press once you get it onto there. It just sets it into the fabric. So sets it into that fabric, and once it's there, y'all. It is completely there. So it looks really cute. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to grab, what have we been doing lately, y'all? We haven't been cutting fabric. I haven't cut fabric in a while. What are we even doing? We've been doing all kinds of different things, haven't we? I think I have, I don't know where my squares, where's my squares? They're probably over there somewhere. It's easier when you have a square. Hold on. I'm going to see if I can find my square. Hold on a minute, guys. Because I like to cut with a square. When I reorganize, here they are. I was like, I know I have squares somewhere. Squares, squares, squares. I think that one is too small. That one is too big. I think I have one more square over here. Where you at there, square? I think that is the square I need. I think that one is the square I need. That one's not it either. Did I put him in the wrong spot? I think I put him in the wrong spot. Well, patooey. We can do this. We're going to do this. We're going to come this way. And I need to back y'all up. I just realized I'm like, hey, I'm sitting there looking and you guys can't see a thing I'm doing. I apologize. If you send me a message, I'll let you know. Hey, Shelly, how are you? Long time no see. How are you? Send me a message and I'll tell you where I get the transfers, and that way you guys can get yours, because he does phenomenal work. And next day shipment, y'all. You put an order in this morning, as long as you get it in pretty good, they'll ship the next day. How's your fizzing going, Shelly? How is it going? I have to say, I don't miss the fizzing, but I do miss all y'all. I miss all y'all. Y'all are awesome. Do y'all have snow over there? Okay, so get back here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some strips around this, but we're gonna do this as a kind of as a quilt as you go kind of thing. So this is a really, it's good. Just moved my room, so I'm happy again. No snow. It's been in the 60s. Wow, you've been warmer than me. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna sandwich this on a piece of fabric and batting in between. So we're going to do this mug rug a little bit different. So good morning. How are you? So let me grab a piece of fabric. I'm almost thinking I'm going to cut some strips. Check this out, guys. We're going to cut some strips from that, because we're going to put that around that bear. We're going to put that. Ooh, look at that. That is going to be pretty. We're going to put that around the bear. And I'm thinking what we're going to do, because I think that's big. I'll go a little bit bigger here. You know what we could do? I just had an idea, guys. You know how we do, I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to try it. You know how we do that one square where you sandwich the two squares together and you sew all the way around them, and then you cut a thing in the middle of them and then you fold it out? We're going to see if that works. We are going to try that. I like to try new things. Y'all like to try new things? Why not? We're just having fun, right? We are just having fun. So we're going to have some fun. Y'all. Let's have some fun. So we're going to take this and I'm going to cut it the same size as what I just cut. That way it gives us our square thing. Come back here. So I'm going to take this. So we have two of them. So we're going to do two together. Y'all can't see my head. It's like it cut my head off. So I'm taking the bear that we have. Thanks for the heart, me. Thank you. So I'm taking the bear that I just put on you. Can you sit hot things on the mug? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I haven't had a problem with it. I haven't had a problem because your hot things that you're putting on there, it's a cup of coffee, things like that. It's not a constant steady hot. It's just it doesn't, it's not hot enough to make a problem with it. So then I'm going to take a sandwich with this. Is this not cool fabric? Is this not cool fabric? So we're going to sandwich this together and we're going to do the same thing. I don't know if it's going to work. I've never done anything besides the squares. We're going to try it and see what happens. We are going to try it and see what happens. So we're going to sandwich this together. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stitch all the way around this. We're going to stitch all the way around. We're playing today. So we're going to play. So let's come over to the sewing machine, and thank you for the heart me. Thanks for the heart me. We're going to come over to this sewing machine. Y'all, I haven't played in a while. We're going to play. We've been doing too many serious things lately on making things this way. So good morning, Renee. How are you? First thing I got to do is we're going to go over to sewing. Nice thing is it's going to kick that embroidery arm all the way over to the left. So we're going to get that on here. Gonna hit sewing, say okay, boom, there it goes. We're gonna put on the sewing foot, take off the embroidery foot. The other day we were doing embroidery and I had the sewing foot on, but I have to say you cannot sew with the embroidery foot on. You know immediately when you go to sew, you're like, oh, I don't have that straight edge there. I don't have that straight edge there. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna change that thread out. I'm gonna change that thread out. We're gonna put, I think we're going to do like a dark blue, guys. We're going to do a dark blue. So I have a dark blue thread that we're going to put in here. Thinking that's a pretty color. That's a pretty color, guys. I'm hoping this works. We're testing here, guys. We're going to see if this process works with rectangles. I know we do it with squares, but we're going to try this with a rectangle. We are going to try this with a rectangle. I need a starter and a stopper, guys. I need a starter and a stopper. I like the starters and stoppers because it makes it where the fabric doesn't bunch when you're sewing it. So turn you down a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to sew all the way around this because I got the two sandwiched together. So we're going to take and we're going to sew all the way around this. And I have that needle in the down position. That way when it gets to the corner, I just turn. I just turn to the other side there. Turn this way. Turn this way. And then we're going to come back over here. Dude, what are you doing? Your ball's over here. There, go get it. His ball ended up in my sewing stuff down there. He's like, hey, I'm trying to dig it out. Okay. All right. So now we've sewed this together. And if you haven't seen this process, if you haven't seen the process of this, what you do is you usually take like 2 10-inch squares, 5-inch squares, whatever size square you're working on. And you take and you sandwich the right sides together on those. You stitch them all the way around. And then we're going to do this process right here. I'm going to do the process right here, and you're going to see how this works. So we don't want to cut up the bear. We don't want to cut up the bear. And we know that the bear is on this blue fabric. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the other side and we're going to draw some lines. We're going to draw some lines on those, and we're going to see if this process works. Like I said, I've done it with the squares, but I've never done it with a rectangle. So we're going to see what happens on a rectangle. And we may just have created a new process here, guys. Somebody else has probably already tried it, but hey, I've never tried it, and I'm curious to see how this works out. Curious to see how this works out. So we're just going to take a marker. I'm going to take a ruler, and we're going to go on the back side, and you're going to go corner to corner. You're going to take and go corner to corner on this. We're just creating a mug rug, y'all. Just creating a mug rug. Just create fun squares, something fun, y'all. So we're going to go corner to corner. I'm going to draw a line, turn it this way, and we're going to go corner to corner here. I'm curious to see what this creates. Curious to see what this creates. Curious, 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 curious. Okay, so we've now drawn that X. We've now drawn that X. So now this is the fun part, y'all. This is the fun part. So on this one, so you've got it sewed together. So now you're going to take like this, and you're going to grab this. You're going to try and grab this. So you're going to grab one side. And so as you see, we have one piece of the fabric over here, one piece of the fabric over here, and you've got it pulled apart. Okay. So now what we need to do is with this one pulled apart here, you don't want to cut that back fabric. You don't want to cut the back fabric. You only want to cut that top fabric. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this and my scissors. Oh, they're there. So you're going to take the scissors and you're going to trim just a little hole right there at the beginning. Just a little hole right there, just enough to get the end of your scissors in. And then you're going to take and put your scissors in there, and you're going to cut down that line. You're going to cut all the way to the end. Cut all the way to the end. All the way here to the end. I'm curious to see what this is going to turn out. I'm excited. Excited. We're going to go here. I'm going to have to go see what he's doing here in a minute. Because he's hiding. He's hiding here, guys. So now we're going to trim this one. And like I said, you're trimming just to the corner. You're just trimming to that corner. So you've sandwiched the two together. And this one's a rectangle. And like I said, I've always done this with squares, but I've never done it with a rectangle because I'm kind of curious to see. Kind of curious to see what this turns out like. So we're going to open this up. We're going to open this up. We're going to see. We're going to press it out too. We'll press it out and then we'll trim the corners off. Y'all, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. I think it's still going to work. I think it's still going to work here. So move y'all this way. Move y'all this way here. And you want to be careful with the transfer. You don't want to put that hot iron on there. So we're going to press that way. Press that one that way. And we'll cut the corners off too here. We'll put it back on the cutting mat and we'll get those corners trimmed off. Get the corners trimmed off. And it looks like we're going to make a diamond mug rug, y'all. We're going to do a diamond mug rug. So now what we'll do is we'll take and stay down there. Interesting shape, but it still works. Still works. So we're going to trim those corners off here. Each side will have a corner there. Kind of looks cool. Kind of looks cool. It's not a perfect square, of course, because we did a rectangle, but it's a cool shape. It is a cool shape here. I'll show you here in a minute. We'll get this last corner off here. This last corner. So we're trimming the corners off. But I think it turned out pretty cool. I think it, can I see a completed mug rug I've never heard of? Absolutely. I'll show you here in a minute. Show you here in a minute. What do you think, guys? What do you think? I'm thinking this is kind of cool. Thinking this is kind of cool. So this one turned out pretty cool, guys. So mug rug. Let me show you mug rug. Where did my mug rug go? He's here. So mug rug. This is a mug rug. So what a mug rug is for is you take this, put it on your table, put your coffee cup, your tea glass, whatever you want to protect your furniture. You'll have to protect your furniture on that. So that's what a mug rug's for. That is what a mug rug's for. So, but we're going to do, we're doing one. So this one was made in the hoop. This one was made in the hoop. This one is we're doing this outside the hoop. So hold on one moment. I got to pick up something right quick. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was back. I took him out for a walk to go potty. He didn't go potty, and needless to say, he just went potty, and I can't handle that smell. So it's gone. It's gone. So, okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take and sandwich this. I'm going to cut a piece of batting and a piece of fabric the same size as this one. So let's go ahead and get that trimmed up, and then we're going to have some fun. We're going to do some stitching. We're going to do some stitching on the inside of that, and then we'll get it binded, and it'll all be created. Why are you doing that? My one camera is normal tracking here, guys. So it zoomed in. Okay, there. Dude. Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll come over here, and we are going to come down here. And what we'll do is we're going to take a piece of fabric. Nancy, you are getting that mug rug. I'm leaving that there. I'm leaving that there. So we're just going to use that. We're going to use that. I need a piece of batting. Here, go chew on that. So we're going to take a piece of batting here. That's going to go on the inside. Then we're going to have this. So we're going to trim it to the exact size here. We'll trim it. Well, I guess we could go ahead and stitch it and then quit. Let's go ahead and stitch it. We're going to stitch it first before we do that. We're going to stitch it first. So we're going to leave this on the outside. Not going to hurt anything. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to do some stitching across here. Just get it stitched down and then, I don't know, we'll play. We'll play here. So just, no, it's just regular cotton batting. It's just regular cotton batting. It's not because it's not the stuff, because you're not going to put these in the microwave. You're not going to do anything like that. Because like I said, you're literally just putting your tea glass on these MugRugs. So tea glass, coffee cup. So it'll be good. So it'll be good. So now what we're going to do is, like I said, I'm going to take my favorite stitch. Anybody that knows me, what my favorite stitch is. Dude, go chew on your own stuff. Go on. Here. Go chew on your own stuff there. He's like in a mood this morning, I'll tell you. What is the correct way for the batting? The correct way for the batting? What do you mean? Correct way. Not sure what your question is there, Mr. Coolest Dad. You mean, is there a top and a bottom to the bumps up? Mine don't have bumps. Mine don't have bumps. I think the ones that have bumps is an actual, they have, I don't know. Help me out, guys. Does any of your guys has bumps on them? He's getting, yeah, he is getting comfortable, Miss Nancy. There is a difference between subscribing. Oh, you're doing that. Iron on. Marnie, no bumps. Coolest Dad, I think you have iron on or fusible fleece. Or yeah, I think yours is fusible. Yeah, so if you have bumps on one side, that's a fusible. And I think you would iron on to the side that has the bumps, because I think that would be your sticky stuff, if I'm correct. If I'm correct. I've never used it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Pretty sure that's what it is. Okay, yeah. So Miss Abby is saying that's iron on. So yeah, so the side that has the bumps is the side that you would press your fabric to. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna stitch around this. We are gonna stitch around this here. And I'm just stitching through and more or less quilt as you go kind of thing. So we're gonna stitch through the top fabric, through the batting, through the backing fabric, and we're just going to stitch all the way around this thing. You could do a satin stitch around it if you wanted. There's, I mean, pretty much anything you want. I'm going to turn it this way, and then we're going to come around the other corner here. And you make up your own pattern. You do, I mean, like I said, we just made this up this morning, so you can pretty much do whatever you want on these. Turn this way. And usually a good size is like 6 inches, a 6-inch square, 7-inch, somewhere around there is a good size for your MugRugs. Your coasters are usually smaller. But the MugRugs are usually bigger. So maybe that's why I like MugRugs. I don't know. I just like MugRugs. Okay, so we now have that stitcher. When I sew, I give my little dog a teeth bone so she doesn't chew on anything else. Y'all, if you've seen the toys I have all over the floor for this little guy, I give him all kinds of things. Love making mug rugs and love the new mug rug ideas. Thank you. You are welcome, Fran. You are welcome. Okay, so we have this now. I'm trying to decide, do we add some line? We could do some lines across here. How about we do some lines? We could add some lines. Let's add some lines. We're going to go back and we're going to go back to that straight stitch. We're going to go back to the straight stitch here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some lines across and just in the middle here. And we're just going to go the width of the foot here. We're just going to put lines all the way across. Just give it that extra fun look here. And I'm just lining my foot up with the line previous to the previous line there. So, and it's actually stitching pretty straight lines there. Pretty straight lines. And when you stitch those transfers, you're going to hear a different noise when it's actually stitching. Could you make a mug rug as a car coaster? Absolutely. Absolutely. You could do it any size. You could do your mug rug, like measure the circle inside of that. You could totally do that. And you're talking about the one that goes inside of your cup holder, correct? Is that what you're talking about? You're very welcome. You are very welcome. I mean, the possibilities are endless on this. The possibilities are endless on what you can do on these. So, like I said, we just created this size today, so it kind of worked out okay. He's playing fetch with himself here. Oops. You're almost done with those. And then what we'll do is we'll take it back to the cutting mat and we'll trim it up. And then we'll put binding. We'll bind the side of it. We'll bind the side of this thing. And once we do that, we'll do one in the hoop. But I wanted somebody to, if you don't have an embroidery machine, you don't have to have an embroidery machine to make mug rugs. You can have just as much fun making mug rugs outside the hoop. And you can still do these fun designs. I'll show you. Once I get this done, you're going to see it looks really cool. So we were still able to do the quilting inside on that center square, because I like to add a center square to these, either center square, center circle, whatever you're wanting to do on them. So almost, we're going to turn around the other way. So we got just a couple more stitches here. Couple more stitches. I think it looks kind of cool. Kind of cool. Last one there. Last one. Okay, so we're gonna back it up. Back it up. Back it up. Stay there. You don't have an abort. Well, Lisa, you don't need one. You don't need one, because check this out, guys. Check this out. So we just created, which way do we go up? Up, that way up. That way up. So we just created this, and as you can see, you see the stitching inside of that square? Have you ever done a heart-shaped center on one? I have not. I have not. We might have to try that. We might have to try that. It'd be kind of cool. So now that we have that, and then we have the back side. So you can see the back side. See how it's stitched on there, and it's kind of cool? Yeah, it totally helps you use up scraps. It totally helps you use up scrap pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trim around this, and we're going to bind it. I'm going to show y'all, if you haven't seen my binding process, this is the binding process that I use for binding quilts, binding your hot pads, binding your placemats, anything like that. That is what I use this for. So now what we're going to do is we'll go ahead and trim this around, and I'll show you how to bind. I'm going to show you how to bind. We're going to have fun with binding, y'all. We're going to have fun with binding. Fun, fun, fun. And these don't have to be perfect. These don't have to be perfect. So anything on there, we're going to trim off all these pieces of thread here. All these start and stop pieces of thread. At the end of every week, I end up having to vacuum all of these little bitty pieces of thread all over the floor, y'all. Okay, there we go. One more right there. Okay, stop there. Okay. Hey, no. My gosh. Hold on. No. Get in here and play with your toys. Here. Look, you have all these toys to play with. They say get a puppy, it'll be fun. Once it gets past the puppy phase, it'll be fun. I use scrap buster projects, like small projects, so I feel like I've got right. You know, so my philosophy is, so you'll see that pretty much all the quilts I make, all the items I make are pretty much easy items that you can finish in a day. I like to be able to finish something in a day. If I can't finish something in a day or two at the most, then I usually probably don't do it. So. And this doesn't have to be perfect. So, like I said, it's a MugRug. So, okay. So here we go, guys. This is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. And I think once we bind it, it's going to give it even that extra special touch. I have 2 dogs, and yes, the best time comes when they have grown up, right? Telling you. Okay, so I have a piece of strip. So I have that strip, that strip, that strip. It might possibly be enough. Might possibly be enough. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. Hopefully. We're gonna play it. So what you do is you cut your piece of batting or your strip. The same length here. We're gonna do that side. We're gonna do this side. And please tell me this is gonna be long enough. I think we're gonna be long enough. Thinking. I don't know. We're gonna see. I may have to get a different piece out. Good morning. Okay. So we've made the mug rug. So now, and as you can see, it's all quilted on the back. So more or less, it was like a quilt as you go kind of project. It was kind of like a quilt as you go kind of project. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bind this. We are going to take and bind this. So we are going to take your piece of, so just like a jelly roll strip, and we're going to sew it onto one side. We're going to sew it onto one side, right sides together. So we're going to stitch that across there. Stitch it across there. We're on a straight stitch. Make sure I was on a straight stitch there. So we're going to come across here. I'm going to put this one on the other side. Just line it up right there on the edge. Stitch across this one. So on the back side of this, is how you're doing your binding. So this is how you get your binding. So you've sewed it right sides together. So your right side is on the other side. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this strip that you just sewed, is regular straight stitch. Yeah, I'm just using a straight stitch right now. Once I get to this next step, I use a double blanket stitch. I do use a double blanket stitch on the next one, and I'll show y'all what that is. So straight stitch across here, just quarter inch seam across there. Then you take this 2.5 inch strip. This is a 2.5 inch strip on this one. And you fold it up, to your stitch line. So you are folding that up to that stitch line right there. Okay. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Once you get it folded up to that stitch line, you're going to fold it all the way up. Okay. You're going to fold it all the way up. And then when you come to this side, you're going to see that is actually behind that stitch line there. So it is behind that stitch line. And then you're going to fold it over. Once you fold it over, you have your stitch right there. And then you're going to do a stitch right across there. And I just do like a double blanket stitch across that is where I go. So it's just going to stitch right across that. So again, all these threads on the back is driving me nuts. Hold on. I got all these threads from when we stitched those lines across there. So I'm going to show you that process one more time. Let me show you that process one more time. That way you get the gist of it there. Blazer, come here. Yes, stay out of trouble, dude. Okay, so here we go. So again, on the back side, you've sewed that 2.5 inch strip across there with a 1/4 inch seam across the top. Okay, you're going to take that bottom of that strip and you're going to fold it up to the seam line. Right there at the bottom of the seam line, you're going to line that up. So you're lining it up right there on the seam line. Once you have that lined up, you're going to fold it up. Okay, once you fold that up, you turn it around to the other side. Once you turn it around to the other side, you can see that you're behind that seam. You're behind that seam on there. Good morning, Miss Nikki. And then you're going to fold that down. Fold that down right there. Did you get your lanyards yesterday? I sent them with Zach. So then you have that right there. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take and go to the sewing machine, and we're going to use a double blanket stitch on this. That double blanket stitch is the same stitch that you see. You see that right around the edge? It's the same stitch that I used right around the edge of that bear. So let's go ahead and do that. And you're going to see this is the easiest binding you're ever going to do, y'all. And the next step on the other side is where it comes into play, because I call them Christmas corners. I call them Christmas corners, but you're going to see how that works on there. So on this one, I don't clip this one because it's just a small piece. We're going to turn it back this way. Just a small piece on there. But let me scroll you guys that way a little bit, because I'm going to show you the stitch I use. So on this one, it's over on the 3, but it's 3-18. This 3-18 is the stitch. And as you can see, it's got a center stitch that goes up the center of that stitch, and then it has jagged edges that goes off. It goes that way, and then it comes down, drops a little bit, comes down on both sides. But what I do is I increase the width up to 7 millimeters on there. I increase that width up to 7 millimeters. Come here. Hey. I may have to close him in here. Hold on. You stay in here. You stay in here. And I'm going to show you over here. Hold on. I got to see what he's doing. Hold on. I'm going to just close him in here. That way he can't get out of here. Come here. Come here. No. We're closing you in here, dude. Ouch. I kicked the wall. I kicked the wall. That one hurt. Okay. So back here on the sewing machine, what I do is I center the edge of that binding right in the center of that foot. Can you show again before you sew it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Does he need to go? I took him outside. He's okay. He's okay. So let me raise that up. I'll show you one more time. So you have the 2.5 inch strip we sewed here. Okay. We've sewed that 2.5 and right sides together on the back side. Okay. Then we're going to take and you're going to fold this up to the seam line. Fold it up to the seam line. So the raw edge, and you can see the raw edge of that fabric is on your seam line, not at top, not at the top. It's not up here. It's at your seam. Okay. That's where you want to put the raw edge. And then you're going to take and you're going to fold that up. When you fold it up and you go round this way, you can see that that is behind that stitch. So now you're going to go down this way, down that way. I don't have, so yeah, absolutely. It's more or less the same stitch. It's more or less the same. The 317 is about the same stitch as that one. So would I be able to make a trivet to put on dishes I use? Absolutely. Absolutely, Baxter. Absolutely. That you could totally do that. I got a puzzle piece. So let's go ahead and stitch this. And like I said, I increased the width up to 7 millimeters. That's as big as it'll go. So I increased that width of that stitch. And you'll see, we'll go ahead and stitch this and you'll see how that works. But I increase it up as big as I can get it. I increase that up as big as I can get it on there. So let's come back over here and I'll show you the other side because we have 4 more sides to do. So the first 2 sides, you do it that way. And the next side is where it comes into play. This is because you're still going to get your boxed corners because, you know, you're like, well, I want those mitered corners on the side. Well, I'm going to show you how you're going to get those. So we're going to go ahead and center this on here. We're centering the center of your foot. So that straight line is right there on the edge of your binding. It is going right there on the edge of the binding, and then it's going and grabbing both sides. You know, everybody uses different stitches on this, but I find that this is my favorite stitch. This is my favorite stitch to use. And what I usually do is I take and use the same color of bobbin thread as whatever my backing is. Whatever your backing is the same color of bobbin thread. That way it doesn't really show on the back side. That way it doesn't really show on the back side. But I'm going to show you right now. So as you can see, you see what that does? It goes and it stitches right down the edge. It stitches right down the edge, and then it goes and grabs both sides of it. And then on the back side, as long you keep the color of bobbin thread is the same as your backing. So that is the same as the backing on there. So again, we're going to go to this other side. We'll go back to the other side. So on the other side here, we're going to do it again. So we've sewed that 2.5 inch strip, 1/4 inch seam, and then you're going to take your raw edge of your fabric and you're going to line it up with your seam line, not with the top. You don't want it up at top. You want it with your seam line. So you're going to line that bottom right there with that seam line. You're going to fold it up, turn it over, and you're going to see it's behind that. It is behind that. And then you're going to fold that down. You're going to fold that down. So now we're going to go ahead and stitch that. We'll go ahead and get that stitch, and then I'll show you how to do the other side. Thank you, Cynthia. I'll grab a drink here in a minute after I stitch this. So let's go ahead and stitch this, and then we will, I'll show you how you got to do that other side. Okay. So hold on one moment, because the other side is where you're going to put the Christmas corners. I call them Christmas corners, and you're going to see why I call them Christmas corners. So we're lining that foot up, with the edge of that binding, lining it up with the edge. That way it goes and grabs. It stitches down the edge with that middle stitch, and then it goes and grabs both sides. It goes and grabs both sides on there. So we'll get that lined up, and I think I'm going to have to grab another strip out of the drawer here because the other one's not long enough. Because on your next strip, your first strip, you can fold the edge. A lot of times I fold the edge. I forgot to fold the edge on this one, but it's okay. You don't have to. But on your next side, so we have those two done. Is that not looking cool? Those two are done. So now we need to bind the other side. So I'm going to show you all how we bind that other side, because binding the other side, this is where it comes into play. This is where you still get your mitered corner. You want mitered corners on there. So it looks very cool. So let's grab another piece of fabric, and I'm going to show you how we're going to get that. Let me open my drawer here. Let's see. No. You don't need none of this. Okay. So actually, same one. Hey, how did I do that? So now we're going to come over here. What we're going to do is, so on here, so you have the two sides. So we need to sew a strip across here. But on this strip, we're going to have to fold, because you want a piece of fabric folded on both sides. You want a piece of fabric that is folded on both sides. Maybe an inch or two, or inch and a half, just as long as you got to fold on both sides, because this fold is where you're going to get your corner. This fold is where you're going to be able to get the corner. So you want to make sure that when you measure the fabric on there, that you have enough to be able to do that. So drinking iced tea this morning. So I'm going to measure that. That way we make sure we have enough. Move that down. I'm going to iron these right quick. That way they're flat. You can see these are 2.5 inch strips, y'all. 2.5 inch strips. Okay. So now what we're doing is we're going to take these strips right here and right sides together, and I'm going to fold these in. Those were a little bit long. Those were a little bit long there. I'm going to trim that just a little bit. And it doesn't matter. I mean, they can be long. Doesn't matter. So then we're going to do just a 1/4 inch seam across that. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So let's go ahead and go over to the sewing machine, and we'll get these stitched. We will get these stitched. Come over this way. You guys go on road trips here. It's like, oh, here we go. Going around the other way. Okay. So I'm going to take this one, and like I said, you have a fold here. You have a fold. No, leave the cables alone. He's like, but it's there. It's there. Just a 1/4 inch seam across the top here. It's easier if you have squares. This one's a different shape. This one ended up a different shape on us here, but that's okay. We're going to grab this one. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Same thing on the other side. Make sure you do right sides down. Right sides down. And I'll show you why you need a fold on this side. You got to have a fold on this side. You don't have a fold on this side, you don't get your boxed corners. Somebody had said my corners kind of look like a picture frame corner. So, but it works. It works. So, okay. Y'all ready for this? This is how you're going to get your corners. This is how you're going to get your corners on this one. Raise you up a little bit. Stay up. Okay, so we now have sewed this. Are you sure that I can't just have a little... Yeah, right. I know, right? It's like, come on, come on. So, so we take this. So doing the same thing. We are doing the same thing, but we have one thing to do before that. Y'all ever wrap Christmas gifts? You ever wrap those Christmas gifts? So you take and you do those corners. You create a corner. So you're creating a corner. You just creating a little diamond on the one corner here, and you're going about halfway up that strip. You're going to go about halfway up that strip on there, and you're going to do it on both sides. You're going to do it on both sides, and then you're going to do the same process as we just did. You're going to line it up with your seam. Line it up with your seam, and then you're going to fold it up. And then when you come across here to the other side, when you fold it down, guess what, guys? You end up with that corner. You end up with that boxed corner. So you now have a corner on there. Let me show you that process again. Again, I call this a Christmas corner. I call this a Christmas corner, guys, because you've got the folded strips on the side. You have that folded strip on the side. So then you just take and halfway up the side, halfway up that side, you put a corner. You just add those Christmas corners, like you're wrapping a Christmas gift. Like you're wrapping that Christmas gift. You just put that little corner there. And then once you do that corner, thanks for the follow. Once you do that corner, you take and you fold this up and raw edge here. You got the raw edge of your fabric and you're lining it up with your seam. You're lining it up with your sewed seam. So you're lining it up here. You're not lining it up top. You don't want to put it all the way up top. You only want to line it up to your seam. You only want to line it up to that seam. Okay. Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So once you line it up with that seam, you fold it up, flip it over. And when you flip it over, you fold it over, you've got your corners. You have that corner. So you've got that mitered corner there. And you still have, all right. And then what I do is I stitch down that corner, stitch across, and then stitch back up that corner. So anybody that's doing quilting that, you know, that doesn't end up doing very many quilts because you're scared of the binding or you hate the binding, y'all, this is the easiest binding out there. This is literally the easiest binding out there. And make sure that when you use the bobbin thread, because you can see the bobbin thread, just make sure it's the same color as your backing. As long as you have the bobbin thread is the same color as your backing there, you won't see the stitching on the back. You'll just see the stitching on the front, which the stitching on the front is gorgeous. The stitching on the front is gorgeous. Variegated thread sometimes makes it really cool. Variegated thread a lot of times makes it really cool. So let's go ahead and go through that process one more time. I'm going to go through the process one more time. So you have it folded on both sides, 1/4 inch seam across the top, 2.5 inch strip. Depending on what kind of if you use like a high loft or a low loft batting, this is a low loft batting now. So, right, Irie, it's phenomenal. It's the easiest way to do binding. So, anyways, so we do that and on there. So, turn your Christmas corners. Turn your Christmas corners. Y'all see why I call them Christmas corners? This is how my mom used to say, wrap the gifts this way. Wrap your gifts this way. So then we're going to take and line it up with that your seam. lining it up with your seam. And then we're going to fold it up like that. And then once you fold it up, you're going to fold it down, and then we're going to stitch across. We're going to stitch down the corners and across. So let's go back over to the sewing machine. We're going to go ahead and start stitching. Y'all good to move to the next thing here? Because we're about done with this mug rug. We are about done with this mug rug here, guys. About done. And again, the stitch I'm using, I'll show y'all that stitch again. So I go down here and I have, the stitch I'm using is a 3-18. As you see, it has that center stitch down the middle, and then it has those stitches that go this way. And what I do is I increase the width all the way up to 7 millimeters on there. That way it's a little bit of a wider stitch. It gives it a little bit of a wider stitch on there. So, and I'm pretty sure somebody said it's called the double blanket stitch on that. So, so let me, a lot of times you have to move it around just a little bit, but that's okay. Get that one there, that one there. So what we're going to do is because you can see we have our corner. So we're going to take and we're going to stitch. Like I said, I'm going to come down the corner first. And when you're doing a quilt, you end up clipping it. So, but with this one, you don't have to clip because it's just a small little mug rug here. Just a small little mug rug. So then we're going to come across this way. Once we come across this way, we're going to come back up that other corner. And I do the same process on a quilt. You do that same process on a quilt, but that's why you use clips, because it's a little bit bigger. It's a little bit bigger on there. So just a little bit bigger. I'm going to come across here. Then come up this way. And I'll show you. We have now done the binding on there. So here is that corner. See that corner? You have a corner on there and you have the binding. I mean, how cool is that? It is, I mean, how easy a binding is that? So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Same thing on the other side, guys. So we do those Christmas corners. Do the Christmas corners. Fold it up to your seam. Fold it up to your seam here, and we're going to fold it up. And then all the way around. So let me get that one. We'll get this one stitched. Then we're going to move on to, because we're going to do down that way. Stop there. And we're going to come across this way. And we should still have time to do one in the hoop. We should still have time to do one in the hoop. And we'll go up this way. Okay, we have officially created a mug rug in the hoop, y'all. We created a mug rug in the hoop. And y'all, how cool is that? Is he not cool? That is a cool mug rug, right? That turned out really, really cool. Lots of fun. So you can do mug rugs in the hoop, out of the hoop. So, right? Came out cool. And how easy was that? How easy was that? And y'all, you can make gifts. You can make them circle. You can make them square. However you want. However you want. I'm sorry, but what is a mug rug? Mug rug. Let me tell you what a mug rug is. So a mug rug is, you have your coffee cup. You've got your tea glass. Whatever you want. So you have these. You're from Norway. So this is for you to put your tea glass on, your coffee cup on. It keeps that heat. It keeps that moisture off your coffee table, anything like that. So you are very welcome. You are very welcome. Ask all the questions you want. Ask all the questions you want. That is what I'm here for. So, and welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. So, but anyway, so room for your coffee mug or teacup or tea glass and a snack cookie or exactly, Irie, exactly. So I love mug rugs. Mug rugs are just fun. So now what we're going to do, we've done one out of the hoop. Now we're going to take this embroidery machine because my sewing machine is also an embroidery machine. We're going to do one in the hoop. We're going to do what other transfer you guys want to do. Throw me which one you guys want me to do. You've made some for your parents. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Awesome. Very cool. Let me coffee. Okay, we can do a coffee one. We can do French toast. The French toast one, glasses lady. Ooh, the glasses lady. Let me see what I've got. Let me see. The French toast one. We haven't done a French toast one. The French toast one is kind of cool. Excuse me. The French toast lady. How about we'll do the French toast one. We haven't done fishing. That's a nice way to use this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to do French toast. I haven't done French toast yet. So we're going to do French toast. We haven't done that one yet. So let me go back home. I'm going to swap out. Thank you. I appreciate that. So we're going to come back here. And what we're going to do is we're going to come here. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to swap this foot out. We're going to put the embroidery foot back on there before I forget. I started stitching the other day and I forgot to put the embroidery foot back on. Okay. So now I'm going to come to my embroidery. We're going to go in here and I already have, let me see if I can go down here and find one because I think I have a mug rug in here. I got a lot of designs that I saved on here. So let me see. That's 2 mug rugs. I don't think we have time to do 2 mug rugs. We do not have time. Let's see. Is there one on there's no thumb drive. Hold on. Do I have one in here? Hold on. Let me send a mug rug over this way. Let me send a mug rug. So I have embroidery files, and on the embroidery files, Juju in the hoop coasters. Copy. Copy. So I'm sending one to my machine right quick. I'm going to be doing a training on the software in April. I'll be doing a training on the software in April. So when I do that, I'll actually walk you guys through the whole process of it. So there it is. So we're going to set that one in there. So this is the design we're going to use. It's more or less 6x6 because you see 5.85 by 5.90. So is the size of it. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to click on the embroidery. I do it a little different. It only takes about 12 minutes to stitch out. So we're going to change the color because we're going to, I have a fun yellow, where's that? I have a yellow variegated thread we're going to use. I have a yellow variegated thread we're going to use. So I'm going to take that in there. So I'm going to grab that thread. We're going to use that thread. I'm going to put these other ones back in here. That way we stay organized. I organized these threads a while back and I'm like, yes, finally, I have them all organized. I have them all organized here. And I do, because I think, pretty sure, I'm thinking this one's big enough. I think I think we're going to find out. Yes. Okay. So let me hoop some stabilizer in here right quick. And I just do a no-show mesh stabilizer in the hoop. And I just use a magnetic hoop, y'all. I just use a magnetic hoop on here. So I just have a no-show mesh stabilizer in here. A no-show mesh stabilizer. Try and pull it tight. That way all the thing is tight in here. So it's all tight. So this is just, like I said, a no-show mesh stabilizer. No-show mesh. And the design I have is from Juju. If you want the design, I can tell you how to get to there. So first thing we want to do is we're going to run that first stitch. We're going to run that first stitch. You said you think you, oh, you're not talking to me. Okay. So we're going to run that first stitch. We're going to do yellow. We're going to do yellow beans. We're doing French toast. So we're going to have fun with yellow. We're going to have fun with that yellow thread. I'm going to hoop this in here. They said the last one we did was in the sewing machine. This one's going to be in the embroidery hoop. So we're going to run that first stitch. What it's going to do is it's going to run that outline stitch. It's going to just a placement stitch. So the placement stitch is going to tell us exactly how big this is. So we're going to come back over here. Tell me again, what are you doing? When are you doing? So the zippered lanyard. So not next week, but the following week on Tuesday is when we're doing the lanyards. The following week on the Tuesday. So we're doing MugRugs. We are making MugRugs. Let me show you. So we just made one outside the hoop with the sewing machine. This is the one we just made. We just sewed that one up. The next one we're doing is we're doing a MugRug in the hoop. So this is what we're doing right now. So I'm going to put Mr. French Toast. We're taking Mr. French Toast and we're going to put him here. And we're going to press on this transfer. So this is just a heat transfer I get. If you want to know where I get them, send me a message. I can send you the information for them because this company is phenomenal. This company is phenomenal. So let me see. Take that off there. And you always want to press it with another piece of fabric. You always want to press it. That just sets it in. It sets it in there. So we're going to set him in there. Set him in there. That way he stays. That way he stays. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, what color fabric do we want to go with that? I think that might be okay. So I'm thinking we're going to use, so I think we're going to take this. We're going to take a piece of batting. So we're going to come back over here. And I don't complete, y'all know me in patterns. I don't always go by the patterns. I always do my own thing. So yes, I'm doing my own thing on this one too. So I'm going to show you what I do. Show you what I do, yeah. And once you're doing sewing for a while, you'll find that you're like, well, maybe I could do it this way. So that's my thing. I end up like, I'll just do it this way. So you can see where it's actually stitched out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this guy's going to be small. I think our French toast guy might be a little small. We're going to find out. Put that in there. Our French toast might be small. Or I mean, too big. He might be too big. Oh, we're going to find out. We are going to find out here, guys. So in the design they tell you to trim around this. I do not trim around this because I do a different kind of backing. I don't do the backing that they do. So go around this. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So now it's going to do, we're going to go to that next stitch. So we're going to do the inside stitch. It's going to tell us how big that we can do. And I'm thinking that my design is too big, guys. Thinking my design is too big. I need something smaller. I need something smaller. So that one, yes, well, we can cut him off. End up, let's see how big, how much of him we can get in there. We're going to see how much of him we can get in there. He's going to be trimmed off. He's going to be trimmed off. We'll just trim him off. It's all right. It's going to get most of him in there. It'll still be okay. Well, the whole piece of French toast is in there. So what it's going to do is it's going to stitch around, and then we're going to have to trim that off. We're going to have to trim that off. This is, well, happy birthday! Dee Smith's birthday is today, guys. Tell her happy birthday. So we're going to take this off here. So now what we're going to do, as you can see, it's stitched around. So we got to trim around that. We got to trim around that. I said it's going to end up taking part of him off, but it'll still be okay. It'll still be okay. Trim around. And you're going to find this is like a really, really quick way. Loving these designs. That when you get this design, you actually get 3 different shapes. You get a hexagon, you get a circle, and what's the other one? I can't remember what the other one is. But you get 3 different shapes on there, so it's kind of cool. Kind of cool. Okay, so he's still okay. He's still okay. I'm still liking the French toast. You made it. Yay. You made it. I'd like the information of where to get the transfers. All right, Miss Linda. Stitch there. Because I think I had... Hold on. Let me grab them and all. From there, and then I get the images off of there. So now, like I said, what it's going to do is it'll go in and it'll stitch all their, do they have the designs or you send them? So the machines, so I send the designs to the machine. So good morning, good morning. Each machine has different designs, but these design, the MugRug design I got is actually from Juju. If you want the information for it, let me know. This is going to be cool. This one's going to be cool. Who would have thunk that you're going to do a French toast? Who would have thunk you're going to do a French toast, right? Right? It's cute. So now it's going to do that satin stitch around that center. It'll do that satin stitch around the center there. And thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining. I like making this in the hoop better than without the hoop. Oh, I agree. I agree. Y'all, I don't know. I'm like addicted to making MugRugs. I love making MugRugs. They make great gifts. They make fun gifts. And since I started doing the transfers, it just opened up a whole new thing because you can make all kinds of different themed MugRugs. So too much fun. Too much fun. I tell you, you get an embroidery machine and it spoils you. The embroidery machines completely spoil you. I love the MugRugs, my favorite small project. Right, Linda? Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you. It probably is my favorite small project also. It is literally my go-to. If I'm bored and I want something to do, I mean, I'm not bored very often. I love the shape you're doing right now. I think it's fancy, right? Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. Don't forget to, thank you, Margaret. I appreciate that. Yes, go ahead and subscribe, guys. We are doing a monthly quilt walk. I decided this year, it's January. It's a good way to start this year. We're going to do a monthly quilt walk and easy. We're doing easy quilt walks. They will be the last Friday of every month. They will be the last Friday of every month will be the quilt walk for that month. You have 3 different options. You can just join the live and do the quilt walk that day. If you're on TT, you can subscribe and get the monthly PDF that goes along with it. Or you can go and get the whole set for the whole year on my site. So either way. If anybody wants some information on the monthly quilt walk, let me know. And we also have 2 virtual quilt retreats coming up too. So how do you find the pin? You signed up, correct? I'll be sending it out. If you've signed up, I'll be sending you the PDF. Awesome. Did you get your PDFs? Eliza, did you get your PDFs? You should have gotten the PDFs when you signed up. You should have been able to download them. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. I'll probably get them out this week. I'll probably get the PDFs out this week to the ones that signed up. Are you okay if I just send it here? I just signed up on this live. I haven't. Oh, awesome. Very cool. Thank y'all for signing up. I appreciate it. Thank you. Miss Nancy, are you on here? If you're still here, let me know, because I'm going to give you the option, because like I said, I'm sending you a mug rug along with your lanyard today. So do you want this one or do you want the other mug rug? I'll let you choose. Which one do you want? You like the French toast? French toast is yours, Miss Nancy. French toast is yours. I'm going to change that color of thread. I think I'm going to do... We're just going to do just a bright yellow. It's kind of fun, the different themes that you can do. Like I said, I love the transfers. Transfers are just too much fun. If I had my own space, I'd have my own printer, but I like to support this company because they are awesome too. They are awesome too. So you're very welcome. This one's turning out cute. I think I got these and I'm like, you know, what am I ever going to do with these? But how fun is a mug rug with them? How fun is a mug rug with them? And we are almost done with this, guys. We are almost done with this. Yeah, one more stitch, and then I'm going to show y'all. Because like I said, I do this design a little different. I don't do, so the way the design's made is it's made to have the satin stitch. I'm super curious about the embroidery frame hanging on the wall and the hot pink and stuff. So, yeah, we're going to try that, guys. We're going to try that. Hold on, let me move this. So I got that frame. Let me put this over here. I got this frame, and it's to do, this is a 4x4 hoop. So this is the 4x4 hoop. So this is actually a sock hoop. So to embroidery on sock. I have yet to try it. So I'm thinking we need to try it, guys. I'm thinking we need to try it. Are you going to tell us about the transfers too? April, I can, right, April? Isn't that cool? Yeah, so we're going to have to try that. I've yet to try it, so we're going to have to try it. We are going to have to try it. Okay. So this is where I do it differently. So I take and 2 pieces. So this is a 10-inch hoop. You got a sock hoop too? Have you tried it? I've yet to try it. I have it. I've yet to try it. So, and then, so we line these up here. Line these up here. And then what happens is it stitches around. Well, this one I think maybe is meant to go that way. So it stitches around, but you need a piece of tape. The dog, as you can see, got a hold of my piece of tape and has chewed holes in it. So you take and you put a piece of tape on this side, because what happens is it's going to stitch around this way and come down this way. But then when it comes back up this way, if you don't have a piece of tape there, it'll fold that piece of fabric up. It'll fold that piece of fabric up, and you don't want it to do that. So, oh, it's coming this way. You never know which way it's going to go. I always think it's going to go that way and it goes the other way. That's all right. We just have tape on both sides. We'll just have tape on both sides. This is just painter's tape. They have embroidery tape that you could use. I was using medical tape, which that works too, guys. That works too. Or somebody was telling me a while back to try painter's tape because it's not as sticky. It's not as sticky. So. Okay. So we're going to come back over this way. Okay. So we've taken it out of the hoop. So we're going to move it out. I'm going to grab this. So don't forget when you're using a magnetic hoop, don't get rid of that middle thing because these magnetic hoops are really, really strong. They're really strong. So I'm going to make sure you have that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take that tape that you just put on there. It just rips right off there. It doesn't rip your stitch. So like I said, this is just painter's tape. Painter's tape is, they have, like I said, they have embroidery tape that's made for embroidering, but y'all, it costs a lot more. And why pay more when you can do the exact same thing for a roll of painter's tape? So just saying. Just saying. I like to be able to save if we're able to. If we're able to. Stay up there. Sometimes my camera doesn't like to play. So now what we're going to do, now I'm going to turn that iron on too. So now what we're going to do is we're going to trim around. And you want to trim like a half inch, quarter inch from the seam. Do not trim that seam. If you trim the seam, then it won't work very well. So about a quarter inch from the seam, because we're going to turn this right side out. We're going to turn it right side out. Miss Nancy, you got a fun MugRugs today. So we're going to trim around here. Trim around. Okay. So I've trimmed all the way around it. So now what are you going to do? So you got to turn it right side out. You got to turn it right side out. So we're going to turn this right side out and you're going to push those corners out. You're going to push the corners out. And I want to show you the French toast yet. I'm hiding the French toast from you guys. Hold on. He's cute. He's cute. He's like sneaking it up on you. So then we'll turn the other side, get the other side turned, and you're going to press those corners out. Press those corners out there. You don't ever want to press out. You use like the back side of your seam ripper. They have like tools for that. They used to have like sticks in with the what do you call it, with the medical or the stuffing. But y'all, how cute is that? He is cute. He is cute. Oh my gosh, I'm loving the French toast, guys. I am loving the French toast. Nancy, I think you did. I think you chose the right one. So let's go ahead. We're gonna come over this way. Come over this way. We'll go ahead and get him pressed. And again, make sure that when you're pressing that, because you still have that transfer on there, so you got to be careful with the transfer. You don't want to put the iron directly on the transfer. You don't want to put that iron directly on the transfer. Go that way. Iron him down. Iron him down. And then what I have done, I'll show you what I have done with these transfers. I have added my name to them. I have added my name to these transfers, which is kind of cool. So on the back side, on the back side, I go and add my name. That way, whoever has these knows that, hey, Carrie made those. That off there. Give it a press. Turn over to the other side. We'll press it again. There we go. We have now made a mug rug. Is he not cute? Right. Yeah. The name as a transfer is kind of cool. Is that not cool? It works out really well. So kind of cool. Yeah, April, I did put it above. If you don't see it, let me know. I'll throw it on there. There you go. And I get the designs off of E. So isn't it cute? They're so cute. Right. I love the name. I love it with the name on it. So, and yeah, I have my business card and stuff, but I like to add my name to my quilts, anything I make or like that. So I always like to do that. So today we had fun today, y'all. Thank you for the heart me. How are you, ma'am? How are you? Thank you, Angela. You are very welcome, Miss April. You are very welcome. So we have had fun today. We made one not in the hoop. So this was made just with the regular sewing machine. So anybody out there that that needed to know how to create one on just a regular sewing machine, we have fun with this. You are very welcome. I love to help. I am here to help you guys. This makes me happy. This is totally my stress relief, guys. I am a director of IT. I run an IT department, and I'll tell you, the last few weeks have been a test. So needless to say, y'all help me stay sane. So anyways, so we made this one this morning and we did this one this morning. How cute. They're both cute. They are both cute. So there's so many possibilities that we can do. So many different possibilities. I have spent so much money since I'm sorry. I don't mean to, what does Cynthia call me? An enabler. So it's just fun. This is good therapy, though. It's good therapy. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I really appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Oh, you are very welcome, Sharon. You are very welcome. Thank you. Thanks for the follow. Yes, give me a follow, guys. Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? We are making baby bibs in the hoop. I got to find that design, but we're going to be making little baby bibs in the hoop. So anybody wants to see the baby bibs in the hoop, that is what we are doing tomorrow morning. And again, I do have the subscribe on TT for the monthly quilt block. You can go check out that monthly quilt block. And then you are very welcome. I love to share. And then February 6th and 7th, I'm doing a 2-day virtual Zoom retreat. So if you want to join that 2-day virtual retreat, we're going to be doing abstract. That first day, you will learn how to do abstract. The second day, you're actually going to create a quilt. So it'll be a lot of fun. So awesome. Baby locks are awesome, Laura. So very cool. Anybody wants some information on anything that I have shared, send me a message. More than willing to share that information with you guys. Nancy, this is going with your order. That is yours. So that one is yours. So wish I could do this one, but work won't allow me to do this. Tammy, just as an FYI, if you do want, you can do the Zoom is recorded. And if you want, send me a message. I might offer you something there. Send me a message. I might help you out. I like everybody to be able to hang out. So yes, send me a message. Yes, everybody. So yes, tomorrow, come hang out tomorrow, because tomorrow, like I said, is in the hoop baby quilt, and that is what we'll be doing tomorrow. So that is what we will be doing. So anyways, You guys have a great day. Thank you for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. And thanks for the great week. It's been a great week. We've had a lot of fun this week. We've had so much fun this week. The quilt jacket was awesome. The quilt jacket, that was just cool. So excited for next week. Next week, y'all, just as a reminder, next week, y'all, we are doing a quilted hoodie. So I gotta do some Googling on that one. So I got to do some Googling on that one. So anyways, all right. Have a great day. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow. And again, thank you for making my mornings awesome. Thanks for making my mornings awesome. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you guys have a wonderful day. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you over on YouTube also. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you.